Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most bizarre and intriguing events in history that you probably haven't heard about. From avian enemies to uncontrollable dance outbreaks, history is full of surprises that'll make you question everything you thought you knew. So buckle up, get your thinking caps on, or maybe your tinfoil hats depending on how deep down the rabbit hole we go, because things are about to get weird. Let's get started. Alright, let's kick things off with a war that sounds like it came straight out of a Monty Python sketch. The Great Emu War of 1932. You see, after World War I, Australia was facing a different kind of enemy, a huge, overwhelming number of emus. These giant, flightless birds were wreaking havoc on farmers' crops in Western Australia. The government, perhaps feeling a bit too confident after a world war, decided to deploy soldiers armed with Lewis machine guns to combat the feathered foes. The mission, to cull the emu population. The result? Well, let's just say the emus, with their uncanny ability to dodge bullets and seemingly endless stamina, proved to be a formidable opponent. The soldiers found themselves outmaneuvered and outsmarted by birds. Imagine that, being outsmarted by a creature that thinks a shiny button is a delicious snack. The Great Emu War was a resounding defeat for the Australian Army, and a testament to the resilience and, dare I say, intelligence of the emu. It's a story that proves that sometimes even the most well-equipped armies can be defeated by the most unexpected of enemies. From a war against birds, we travel to 16th century Strasbourg, where a different kind of chaos was unfolding, the Dancing Plague of 1518. Imagine this, you're strolling through the marketplace when suddenly someone starts dancing uncontrollably, but it's not just them. Soon, dozens. Then hundreds of people are seized by this inexplicable urge to dance day and night for weeks on end. This wasn't just your average flash mob. This was a full-blown epidemic of dance fever. People danced until their bodies collapsed from exhaustion, suffering from heart attacks, strokes, and other ailments. The authorities, baffled and desperate, even tried to build stages and hire musicians, thinking it might be some kind of mass hysteria that needed to run its course. But what caused this strange phenomenon? Theories range from ergot poisoning, a fungus that can cause hallucinations, to stress-induced mass psychogenic illness. Whatever the cause, the Dancing Plague of 1518 remains a bizarre and unsettling mystery, a stark reminder that sometimes the human body can be its own worst enemy. Chapter 3. Napoleon versus Rabbits, a battle for the ages and carrots. Now, let's talk about Napoleon Bonaparte, the legendary French military leader, a man who conquered nations and reshaped Europe. But even Napoleon, in all his strategic brilliance, couldn't predict his most humiliating defeat. It wasn't at the hands of a rival army, but at the paws of rabbits. The year was 1807. Napoleon, fresh off a string of victories, decided to celebrate with a rabbit hunt. Seems harmless enough, right? Except someone had the bright idea to gather up thousands upon thousands of rabbits for the occasion. And when I say thousands, I mean tens of thousands. Picture it, a sea of fluffy tails, twitching noses, and those adorable beady eyes, all staring at Napoleon. As the rabbits were released, something unexpected happened. Instead of scattering in fear, they swarmed Napoleon and his men. They were everywhere, hopping on hats, nibbling on uniforms, generally causing chaos. Napoleon, the mighty conqueror, was forced to retreat in the face of this adorable, fluffy onslaught. Chapter 4. Operation Paul Bunyan, the day the US military went to war with a tree. Our next stop takes us to the Korean Demilitarized Zone, one of the most tense places on Earth. It's 1976 and the Cold War is in full swing. But instead of nuclear threats, the conflict here centers around a tree. Not just any tree, mind you, but a poplar tree standing tall in the Joint Security Area, the only portion of the DMZ where North and South Korean forces stood face to face. This tree, you see, was obstructing the view between two checkpoints, and when North Korean soldiers attempted to trim the tree, things escalated quickly. An American officer was killed and tensions soared. The response? Operation Paul Bunyan, a display of military force that involved hundreds of soldiers, heavy equipment, and even US Army Special Forces. The mission? To chop down the tree. But this wasn't just some lumberjack operation, it was a carefully choreographed show of force designed to intimidate North Korea and prevent further conflict. The tree was felled in a matter of minutes, but the message was clear. Don't mess with the US Army, especially when it comes to their landscaping. Chapter 5. The Pharaoh's fly swatter, ancient Egypt's strangest invention. Let's travel back in time to ancient Egypt, a civilization known for its pyramids, pharaohs, and apparently a deeper version to flies. We're talking about Pharaoh Pepi II, a ruler who reigned for an astounding 94 years. Now, being a pharaoh came with its perks, but it also meant dealing with pesky insects, especially in the hot Egyptian climate. Pepi II, however, had a rather unusual solution to his fly problem. He employed naked servants covered in honey to act as living fly traps. Imagine that for a second. You're a servant in ancient Egypt, and your job description is to stand around naked, slathered in honey, waiting for flies to land on you. It sounds bizarre and honestly a little bit sticky, but it apparently worked. The flies, attracted to the sweet honey, would get stuck to the servants, leaving the pharaoh to enjoy his meals in peace. Hey, you gotta hand it to Pepi II. He knew how to delegate. Outro History Stranger Than Fiction. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these bizarre history facts, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more intriguing content. From warring emus to dancing plagues and rabbit invasions, history is full of surprises that remind us that truth is often stranger than fiction. So the next time you're feeling like history is boring, just remember these stories. And who knows, maybe you'll be inspired to uncover some bizarre historical tales of your own. Until next time, keep exploring.